Hey, hey, hey. How you all doing this morning? Hope you had a wonderful weekend as we kick off another week and our daily millionaire news today. Lots of stuff going on. I got to tell you, I'm going to look forward to the day where this Hunan or Korean or whatever the virus name is. I should learn that damn name, but the Hunan virus is not something we talk about. It looks like I think this is going to be a big week. I think this is heading into the second week of that whole 14-day quarantine that everybody talks about. So I think we're going to see this week, probably by Friday, if there's been a big spike in infections outside of China. And that's important because right now it is relatively contained. It is certainly wreaking havoc on the China economy, like nothing I've ever seen before, and hopefully never see again. But we're going to see this week if there's a secondary spike, I think, in other countries. The UK, I think there's a UK scientist who's actually voiced some concern that freaked me out a little bit on Saturday or Sunday. This individual apparently has done a lot of research on Ebola and AIDS back in the day, so he's been in the game a while. And he was talking about how this particular virus is just flat out worse, meaning it's easier to catch, it's transferable, it seems to be more resistant, and kind of freaked me out a little bit, frankly. So we'll see. I think this is going to be a big week, but it is already impacting, like we've talked about, but now we're starting to see the secondary or ripple. It's like throwing a big rock into a pond or something. You now are starting to see, consumer behavior change, which is what we track on this channel, right? We talk about consumers and cost of capital. And one of the outputs of a changing consumer behavior in China is inflation picks up. When people start running to the store and just buying everything on the shelves, which has happened, a black market picks up and people start selling stuff out the back of their cars or whatever it is, and inflation happens. Inflation is running at 5.4% in China after running at over 4% because of the trade war. So I don't know. Think about that. Think about it for you. What would it mean for our economy to have inflation running at 5.4%? Just think about that. First off, interest rates would be nowhere near where they are today. They'd be much, 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 much higher. It's a scary thought, right? So these are the kind of things you have to look at, right? When you look at consumer behavior, what's going on, what could it impact? Are they changing what they normally do? And they certainly are there. So that's why I think this week's going to be a big week. We are starting to see some normalcy come back to the market. And what I mean by that is people are starting to go back to work. I did see Apple, specifically the iPhones. They have now, approved Foxconn, I think is the manufacturer, to have 16,000 people go back to work. But as of this morning, when I read it, it sounds like only 10% have shown up. So I'm wondering, what does that mean? And it could be early, right? It was just approved on Sunday. So, I mean, maybe by Wednesday everybody's back. But it just goes to show you, is it A, people are scared, right? And they don't want to go back to work? Again, changing behavior. Two, are they in some other part of the country? Because Lunar New Year is a big deal. And if I learned anything from my Taiwan trip, it's that family is vitally important. And maybe they're stuck in other parts of the country and just can't get back to Shanghai, which is a problem, right? Because a lot of the country's transportation is shut down. So it is pretty scary. Another thing is WeWork. I thought we were done talking about them, but it looks like they've shut down 100 buildings in China. And again, WeWork is that kind of conglomerate that rents out, leases a building and then rents out space to smaller companies, rent by the foot, sell by the inch kind of model. So they have shut down 100 buildings, which is crazy. And then one that I thought was odd, which I think is a telling sign, is Mongolia. The country of Mongolia has shut down the shipment of coal to China. So I thought that was interesting. And I didn't really get much out of the article other than they shut it down. They stopped shipping. But I look at that and I go, why? Why would Mongolia stop shipping coal to China? A, it could mean they are not using it, which I doubt because coal is one of those energy sources used by the consumers, right? And they're all staying home. So I would think coal usage is up, not down. But maybe the business impact is enough where coal is not used in businesses and maybe it is down. But again, I don't see it. Morning, Josh. So the fact that coal is not being shipped from Mongolia to China, I think is telling us something. Is it that they can't get it there, right? Because shipping has been significantly impacted by this? Is it they're not using it? Is it being stockpiled? Or are they so afraid? But again, you got to think a ship with coal on it, what's it got, like 6 people on it? 10? I don't know. Something seems off. Something seems off. So that's weird. And again, impact, kind of that second ripple impact, is Chinese businesses are going to the government asking for billions of dollars in loans. And I didn't write it down, but I don't know, it was a big number, like 20 billion or something. I could be off. I didn't write that number down, but yeah, so billions of dollars in loans because of their business impact, right? They got to keep going. So it's a pretty scary time over there, and I think again this is going to be a big week. If we see it, if we don't see the virus take off by Friday in other countries, we're still doing onesie twosie onesie twosie. I think we could be back past the worst of it. But if it spikes in a secondary country, this thing's going to get very scary. So we'll see. Next up, let's talk about something more. I don't know, more fun. Maybe not fun if you're at HP, but looks like Xerox, right, has stepped up and is serious about taking on HP. I've been shocked. I think I told you 8, 10, 12 weeks ago when this first came out. I expected HP to be defensive and turn around and try to buy Xerox. They could be doing it. I have no idea. But it looks like Xerox is like, nope, we're going to up our offer. It's now $24 a share, $34 billion. Looks like it's like 1840 in cash, so big part cash, and some Xerox stock. So pretty soon HP's board of directors is going to have to stop being afraid for their jobs and take a serious look at Xerox. And again, I think this is going to happen a lot in the next couple of years, right? Where companies are acquiring others for growth and technology and people. So I think, I think HP is, they're not, their board is not going to be doing their shareholders a service if they don't look at this and do something significant. So that's interesting. I did see I don't really watch award shows, but I'm always interested in what the best picture is. HP sucks. I used to work there, man. HP has a lot of great people, but it's been run by accountants for a long time, and innovation is not where it used to be for sure. So, best picture, a movie called Parasite. Anybody seen it? It's apparently English subtitled, I think. So, if I can find it on a streaming service, I might go check it out just to see what people think the best picture of the year was. So we'll see there. Next up, anybody seen all these ads for Michael Bloomberg? I don't know what it is about my social media page, but he has definitely hit me up with ads on Facebook and LinkedIn and all these other places. But I haven't seen him on stage yet. So I guess he doesn't have the right, I don't know. There must be some rules eliminating him from talking on stage. But I think he's a candidate yeah, isn't it crazy, Josh? Crazy. So I like what he's got to say. So it'll be interesting to see if Democrats take him seriously. I don't understand the rules of politics, but I guess with billions of dollars you can just spend your way to an election. So we'll see what happens there. And then last up, looks like Tesla's rocketing up again today, 7%, over $800 a share. So it is I still think last Monday, Tuesday was when it went up like 20% 2 days in a row, or 19 and 14, something silly. I'm gonna in a month's time we're gonna know was some kind of computer model in error just buying one stock instead of buying a bucket of stocks. It just that's not normal. And it appears today's 7% rise is because Shanghai is the city of Shanghai has come out saying they'll do whatever they can to get production rolling again, because again their production plant is shut down because of the virus. So it's pretty interesting. Um, then last up, Elon Musk, just kind of something fun. Elon Musk doing what he does, responding to Twitter tweets. Um, yeah, yeah. Well, they bought EDS. That's true. Uh, it looks like Elon Musk was responding to a tweet, and I don't know the full context, but I just got the quote. He said, "Facebook's lame, and it should be deleted," and he used the hashtag delete Facebook. This is probably in context to someone saying Facebook should be regulated or something. Again, I didn't read the full context. I just got the quote. But it's funny that Elon Musk is taking on Zuckerberg with the quote that Facebook's lame, delete Facebook. So that made me laugh. I had to share with you. It made me laugh. So in the end, that's what I got for you today. I think this is a big week. Let's hope there's no secondary spike in another country, because that could be a real problem for the world economy. Um, let's also hope, for our sake, that it slows down in China from all these, people getting sick. 40,000 people sick now. Almost 1,000 people have passed away, which is not good. So, in the end, I hope you have a wonderful day. We are back to our weekly interviews. I have one at 8 o'clock today that should be up a few hours after that. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day. We will talk to you tomorrow on the Daily Millionaire News. Thanks.